Hi, this is Senator Justin Reedy coming to you from Annapolis. We're about to start the second week of the General Assembly session. The big news from last week was Governor Hogan introducing a package of ethics reforms and also redistricting reform. I believe state legislators and all elected officials should operate at the highest level of transparency and openness. That's what I do my best to do. We're a part-time legislature, so we have to have outside business, we have to have outside jobs. It's important to be very transparent and open with any of those potential conflicts or any of those potential business interests. The big thing out of the governor's package that I found the most interesting was his continued push, which I strongly agree with, to reform the redistricting process in Maryland. You may have heard some about gerrymandering in our state. The map that Governor O'Malley forced through the General Assembly was one of the worst congressional district maps anybody has ever really seen. I'm going to show you something here. This might look sort of like maybe a claw or some sort of smoke monster, but it's actually a congressional district. It's the second congressional district in the Baltimore area. And most states have a couple districts that look funny like this, squiggly lines and, sort of contorted. But we also have Congressional District 3. I think someone called it, said it looked like a broken-winged pterodactyl. Those are two congressional districts in our state. They actually make the top 10 list of the worst gerrymandered districts in the country. But wait, there's more. The 7th Congressional District in our Congressional District map, I call this the Pirate Ship District. It's the 7th Congressional District. It looks kind of like a pirate ship. It's got Howard County and northern Baltimore County, and it's just a mess. For those that live in Carroll County, my home county, our 8th Congressional District snakes up from Silver Spring all the way up into most of the southern part of Carroll County, and that actually isn't quite as bad as the broken-winged pterodactyl, but it's still pretty bad. And the Congressional District I live in is the 1st Congressional District, and it travels from Taneytown in western Carroll County down to Ocean City and Crisfield, way on the lower eastern shore. I don't know how anybody can defend these congressional district maps. My Democrat colleagues, many of them will oppose redistricting reform. They will say that, well, a lot of other states that are Republican rammed through bad maps. And I say I don't agree with that either. Governor Hogan's proposal would set up an independent commission that would remove the politicians from picking their voters. Don't get me started on the state legislative maps that state senators and state delegates have, because they don't look quite as bizarre as this, but there's a lot of gerrymandering that happens there as well. The General Assembly needs to get serious about working on redistricting reform. No other state in the country has this kind of gerrymandered congressional district map. There are some states that have some bad districts. Usually those are done because of the fact that we have to have a certain number of majority-minority population districts. So sometimes you'll have a district that looks weird because of that factor. None of these districts in Maryland, with maybe one exception, are weird because of that. They are just people being gerrymandered into congressional districts that are hardly recognizable just to try to get partisan political advantage for the dominant political party, the Democratic Party in Maryland. I'm strongly supporting Governor Hogan's redistricting plan, his redistricting reform commission, and I look forward to working on that legislation as well as the other ethics proposals he's put forward. Next week, I'll be in touch with you to talk a little bit about tax policy and some of the other issues that are starting to happen in the General Assembly. Until then, I really appreciate the opportunity to serve you and invite you to contact me with the information provided. Thanks a lot.